Hey guys, Raiden here, and as you've noticed, there hasn't been a single Golden Sun episode for nearly 3 weeks. After multiple failed recording sessions and nearly 10 hours worth of troubleshooting, in total I finally got my recording software to work with Golden Sun again. Sadly, this means I also lost 5 hours of gameplay, which I can't recover because there's only 3 save slots total, and I save quite often. But I'm making this video to give you guys a general idea of the plot, which is completely accurate, so that way the LP can continue, because a lot of people are sad the way it went, so I'm not just gonna let it die like this. Yeah. So here's basically what happened. So when we left off, the gang was last at Coloso, in which I had received permission from Babby to participate in the finals. After meeting the guards out front who gave you the same tired, "but you're just kids" spiel you hear in almost every single town in the game, we enter Coloso. Only Zeno is allowed to participate, but Ivan, Mia, and Gary are allowed to use their synergy to help me cheat and win the tournament. I love this part because I got to cheat. The tournament was essentially an obstacle course mixed with the Hunger Games, because if I got to the center of the obstacle course before my opponent, I got the better piece of gear and he got like a few rolls of toilet paper. Anyways, after 3 fights against the same exact knight in different colored armor who you can beat just by spamming Ragnarok, really, Zeno wins Coloso and the gang is invited to speak with Babby. Babby gives you a cap which attracts monsters to you, which I'm sure is actually an assassination attempt, but we're gonna ignore that. But then prepare yourselves because he gives you what is probably the biggest plot dump in the game, and I am going to try and summarize this as quickly as possible. Here's where things get oddly convoluted. Basically, Babby's like 150 years old due to a voyage he went on with a friend years ago. I don't remember if it was to the Eastern Sea or the Western Sea, but that part wasn't important. Anyways, when he went on said voyage, he was caught in a mixture of whirlpools and fog, making it impossible to navigate. They somehow wound up in a hidden city of Adepts called Lemuria. The Lemurians taught him how to use Psynergy somehow, despite it being described as a bloodline technique in Mia and Ivan's cases, and that's also unheard of and is completely different from Chi, which also isn't explained, but whatever. Then the Lemurians give him a special draught that will keep him alive forever, as long as he drinks it like once a week, or whatever. On his way back, he gets caught in whirlpools, and uses what little Psynergy he could to navigate his Adept-powered ship back to his homeland. But big problem for Mr. Immortal, Rich, Successful, and Famous Babby is that he's running out of immortality juice. And he needs more. So now he's attempting to build a lighthouse that he named after himself, which isn't narcissistic at all, so that he can navigate sailors through the fog. But there's only one more problem with that. No normal ship is strong enough to sail through the currents, so he wants Zeno and friends to help him sail the crashed Adept-powered ship so he can get back to Lemuria, so he can live longer despite not actually having anything to do. So just like every single other quest, Garrett rationally says, "Why are we doing this? The world is at stake." And then Ivan and Mia treat him like he's Satan for not putting his life at stake to save some random old man who is about 70 years older than he should naturally be. Anyways, you tell Babby you're gonna do it after you're done with your own quest, and then Babby sends his friend Eadem with you on his quest. We actually met him earlier, by the way, he just wasn't that important. Anyways, to get to Babby Lighthouse, you're told to go to the desert area that is south of whatever city you are currently in. There is a village nearby that desert, and in that village, people are talking about storms in the desert that are spitting people out of it back to the town? Don't really know how that works, but that's what it does. Anyways, you go into a random house and there are 2 of Babby's soldiers who have sustained major injuries after going through the desert. They basically say that they were guarding Sheba, who I think was that blonde lady who I said looked like Ivan. Anyways, they were split up by the dangers of the desert, and the guards basically baby out and tell you not to go there. Ignoring their very valid advice, we get to another desert. You want to know why there's 2 deserts? Because they ran out of money. So you walk into the desert and everything's basically the same as the last desert until you hit one of the many tornadoes that are just spinning in place. If you do nothing, you get spewed back out into the beginning of the desert. But if you use Douse and get the tornadoes wet, you can go into a boss battle with the creature that's causing them. A creature so dangerous, men in town said they wouldn't dare take a swing at it. So otherworldly, children go insane just from seeing it. It's the one and only. Anyway, jokes aside, you get attacked by like 10 of these things before you can clear the area. It just starts to get annoying after a while, to be honest. Especially since they attack twice in one turn, sometimes making it impossible for Paper Plate Ivan to even survive the first round. Oh, did I mention that there's also a green and blue version of the same exact lizard who just has boosted stats and basically don't do anything different? And they give hardly any reward and are just kind of randomly placed. Why would they reuse an entire area then reuse a singular monster over and over and over again? Because they ran out of money. Anyways, after we leave that fiery lizard hellhole, we pass a lighthouse where everyone's dying outside, but it's locked right now, so that's not important. Then we head north to a town called Suhala, I think. I don't exactly remember its name. Anyways, above the town is where Babby is building his lighthouse. And after going into the lighthouse and getting to the bottom floor, people gather around because they can't figure out how to open the door to some ancient ruins below that apparently someone else had just recently entered. Then they do my favorite thing and waste your time once again with the, but they're just kids spiel. What are you gonna do? And then Ivan bitch slaps them with $100 bills and then sees through the wall and sees there's a button next to the door. And then apparently only Adepts can go inside. So after getting lost in here, that is where I'm at right now. And hopefully you didn't get lost in this wonderful explanation, which is 100% accurate in the plot.